From the News Channel 5 network, this is SportsLine.
Good evening and welcome to SportsLine. I'm Steve Wrigley, sitting in for Steve Lehman and John Burton. Those sports guys need a couple of days off to gear up for this upcoming Tennessee Titans 2017 football season. Our phone number is 615-737-7767. We can talk about anything you want. You want to talk about the Titans game against the New York Jets? 7-3? I mean, we can talk about that. I mean, the preseason, it's preseason football. I've seen teams go 3-1 or 4-0 in the preseason and then go 3-13. So really the preseason doesn't matter so much as far as the record goes, but it will begin to matter as we creep along to the opener against the Raiders, just to see if the first team offense can do a little bit more than what they did the other night in New Jersey against the Jets. And then we've also got a quarterback battle going on up on Rocky Top. The Vols are listed as 3-point favorites as they get ready to take on Georgia Tech down in Atlanta. And a 7 o'clock Central kickoff. Should be a great audience for that one. Vanderbilt opening up with MTSU. A good backyard brawl. So really the phone lines are open. We're following up the Eclipse show. So if you'd like to talk about something else besides the Eclipse, let's talk some football. Pick up the phone. Call us, 615-737-7767. I've printed off the Titans schedule right here. We can go through the games and talk about, you know, what we think might happen. I don't know. I could see it going 8-8. I could see it going 10-6. Anywhere in between. What do you think? Call me. What do you think about Marcus Mariota? Is he going to come back from the leg injury? Does he look good? Have you been out to Titans practice yet? What do you think about the new big free agent that got smoked the other night? Yeah, Logan Ryan got burnt on a couple plays, but I was in the locker room last night, and he seems like a stand-up guy. Played for Bill Belichick up there in New England, so you know he's not used to making excuses, and he didn't last night when we talked to him. Hey, it was the first preseason game, right? A couple more to go as we creep towards that opener with the Oakland Raiders. And this just in, the NFL announced their assignments for the opening weekend. The Titans and the Raiders are going to be the big game right here on CBS. Got Jim Nantz breaking in Tony Romo, the former Dallas Cowboys quarterback, in the booth with the reliable, not the old, she's not old, but Tracy Wolfson will be the sideline reporter. And then they announced today that Beth Mowins will be the first woman to call an NFL game since Gail Sirens did it late in the 1980s. So the NFL just trying to increase their popularity, trying to reach out to widen their base and their audience. So we got a lot going. But since you're not picking up the phones right now and dialing the number, which again, for those of the hearing impaired, is 615-737-7767. Let's take a listen to head coach Mike Mularkey as the Carolina Panthers get ready to come to town. Cam Newton will not see any live action. He's coming back from the surgery on his throwing shoulder. He's going to do a lot of individual drills. Last night, Coach Mularkey said that he's really looking forward to these 2 days of practice with the Panthers. Doesn't want to see any fighting, any foolishness, any tempers flaring out there in the heat. But he does want to see how his team looks when they get reps, consistent, continuous reps against another football team, a team that's been really good the last couple of years, the Carolina Panthers. So here is Mike Mularkey talking about his 2017 Tennessee Titans.
Moving quick.
Good evening. How was everybody?
Good.
Just waiting on Jimmy.
Sorry. There we go.
You done?
It was a little slow. I couldn't get that thing going.
Right.
Sorry about that.
Joe, you got a question?
Joe, here, you can have it. I'll put it up there for you. Whatever I can do.
Were you able to adjust, I guess, from did you have to change anything up going inside tonight?
No, we didn't. We've kept the practice schedule as is and really got a lot of good work done. But, you know, these guys know how to operate when we have to make a sudden change like that, and went inside and really had a very crisp, sharp practice and got a lot done. So, you know, we're sorry we couldn't be in front of the fans. That was the whole intent, to get some more fans out here that work 9 to 5, and unfortunately the weather didn't hold up for us.
And what happens maybe tomorrow leading up to kind of gearing up for your physical practices on Wednesday and Thursday? We're
still working on installs and things that we have installed over the 2-week period. So it's just a normal, again, practice. We'll get into a little bit more against Carolina. Obviously, we're playing them Saturday, so we've got it scripted out to get work done, but not show a lot.
Stay mainly with the offense during this time, or do you roam between the two fields once the Panthers get?
I'll probably stay with the offense. I think that'll be, at least that's what my feeling is right now, but that's kind of the plan. We'll see how it goes as the practices flow.
How much you look forward to those couple of days? I know you've played in a preseason game, you got another one on the horizon, but how much you look forward to kind of evaluating guys on 2 days of practice?
I'm looking forward to it. I think when I've done this before, it's very competitive. I think it's really good work for the younger players, really good work. Again, it's specifically offensively, you're going against a different front than we've been facing all offseason and with the four-down front. So that's a good thing for us. But like I've said it before, a couple similar teams as far as how they approach the game. And it'll be very competitive, but we know we're not going to have any. They've been told we're not having anything after the whistle.
Yeah.
So
what's the contingency plan if you get weather?
We talked about that today. We can coordinate it to go in the bubble. We had a couple of different options. We'll stay in the bubble. We'll cut reps. Obviously there'll be a lot of bodies in there, but we'll be able to get the majority of the practice in. But we may have to cut reps in order to do it in the time frame we want to. Yeah, he looked good. He actually did more than I was expecting. I'm the one that pulled him out of the team period because of the number of reps that he had up to that point. But I was pleased with the way he looked.
Can you see the reward night?
That was the Osby night. Yes, it was. Probably a good night being on the turf. You know, he earned it. He practices. He plays hard.
You said yesterday you hoped the guys came back with some edge. Did they come back with that edge?
I think they did. Again, I thought it was really a good practice. I thought it was a physical practice. I didn't see a lot of mistakes that I saw the other night. I think they got the point. I mean, I made it very clear this morning about how critical those mistakes were, and and I put tape up that showed same plays in practice, really the same plays in the same game that were successful, and then all of a sudden, why we made some mistakes on the same thing, those are the things we need to clean up. And I think that point was made pretty clear. It was a crisp practice.
Head coach Mike Mularkey there talking about the practice in the bubble last night and wanting to see some edge out of his guys after coming off a kind of a blah performance against the New York Jets. So hard to read the first preseason game, though. I mean, the starters hardly played at all. You know, they did give up a touchdown on the Jets opening drive, but they did hold them, they shut them out the rest of the way, so kudos to the defense. But one of the spots, it's always interesting when you get a new guy in the locker room to see how he reacts when things go right or things go wrong. Well, it's easy to react well when things go right, correct? But Logan Ryan got burnt pretty bad on a couple of plays, and we were able to catch up with him in the locker room last night. And true to form, somebody that you would expect who played for Bill Belichick. I mean, he's a no-nonsense guy. He knew we were coming. He saw the crowd get around his locker, and he knew what the questions were going to surround was his play against the Jets. And here's Logan Ryan talking about getting turned around and making a couple of goofs in the first game against the Jets.
How much, we talked to you after the game, and could have played, how much 48 hours later have you been able to see what you kind of did, be able to make some corrections?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I mean, you watch the film, it's never as bad as you think. Right after the game, it's never as good as you think. Ultimately, defense played pretty well. One explosive play, which was the play I gave up. But at the end of the day, that's what practice is for. You go out there, you try to correct it. When you give up 7 points defensively and it's on the first drive, that's a pretty good day. So go out there, and I bet on myself that's not going to happen too often. And fortunately, in that situation, you don't get a chance to go back out there and make the good play to make it up like the whole game would be. But it's got to start faster, and that's what we try to do today.
How much do you kind of relish, when you were with the Patriots, Coach Belichick liked to do this practice against other teams. This organization hasn't done it in a while. How much does that really help you guys?
I love it. I love competition, man. I mean, our receivers and us, we compete every day. We see that. But it's good to bring new receivers in here. new opponents in here, just to match yourself against those guys and see what they're doing, see where they're at, and see where you're at as a competitor. So I look forward to it. Focus on tomorrow first, but when Carolina comes to town, I think we'll be ready.
How do you feel like the team responded from Saturday today?
Responded great. I think we had a great practice. I think the offense looked sharp. I think defensively we kept competing our butt off all day. And, that's all you can ask for. I mean, win, lose, or draw, we needed to have a good practice today, and that's what we did. That's what the preseason, that's what the season's about, is moving on to next week, because the next week's the only thing that matters.
Logan Ryan staring the camera down and just standing up there saying, man, I wish I had a little bit more game to try to make up for those lapses on the opening drives against the New York Jets. When we come back, we'll we'll listen to Dennis Kelly, who's a very versatile lineman for the Titans. And boy, he stood up and answered the questions too. They gave up 7 sacks against the Jets. That's something that just won't happen. But then again, it wasn't the first team offense in there. The offensive line has kind of been a strength here lately. So when we come back here on SportsLine, we will listen to Dennis Kelly talking about the improvements that the offensive line needs to make for the Tennessee Titans as they get ready to go against the Carolina Panthers. You're watching SportsLine. I'm Steve Wrigley. See you on the other side.